Durka's going to find that first fight. Oh, and Redguard just walks all over him. I can't believe what I'm seeing.
It was right, by the way. Lothar confirmed.
Wow.
Launching smoke. Stim beacon down.
What a bizarre set of events, but you can't help but love seeing it. We're going to at least hear 2 through sand now. Fnatic going to find it hard to cross. Can maybe made it a little easier from Alpha's work here. Redgar should be noted. Not sure if they saw where that C's landed. Yampi already get one, but it's Redgar and the great timing on the swing. Now you're going to hear that ult pop. Just Safe just post it. He's going to go back for it. Alpha denies. Takes away Safe and takes away the ult. Praying Nats takes a step too far, but it's Leo who's going to try and close in. Spam, yes. Shot, no. Redgar's got him 10 seconds now. Spike is not to hand. Redgar is a monster.
Absolute beast today.
Seemingly ever present on this. Makes his way over. Yampi's gone down, Safe on the backlines. Pops the ult, try and keep himself alive for a moment here. Spots out the player. That's an ambitious shot. It lands. And he takes one down as well on the site. This is ridiculous from Safe. Oh, he wants him dead. Twiston barely breathing, down so low, and Safe trying to match him step by step. 4 kills this round, it's gonna be 5.
For the server, a quick swing from Yumpy, and he's gonna use his drone. He does have support, so there's not gonna be any sort of swing just yet. And instead, it's Nats actually coming up with a double through mid. I think he's just caught both rotations.
This round, A-Plan fell apart completely for Team Liquid, but it's Nats lurking. Who's surprised to hear that has found success for this squad? And they've got to worry about him now because he's dished up this entire part of the map. Now, look, they don't know the B-side is cleared. They don't know it's wide open. They don't know that Nats is going to have one hell of a fight on mid. Okay! I thought he was taken down there, but no, he's up for the ace. Nats lurking is a dangerous thing to face against, and well, Foot learned that the hard way.
So welcome to the 3rd installment of our 12-part series on how all of the different teams can win Masters Tokyo. And today our team is Team Liquid. Our picture for today is Redgar's posture, which I thought was pretty funny. And let's introduce you to Team Liquid. And of course, many of you will know most of these players. Redgar, Yampi, Nats, Solcas, and Safe with Emil as the coach. All of these players have pretty much been playing at a very high level for a very long time now, and obviously Safe in particular had a really good season in the VCT EMEA, and after starting off maybe a bit slower than most expected, Nats really started to pick up as well towards the end. First thing I want to just mention in terms of playstyle for Team Liquid is I don't think I've ever seen a team who's as crazy with ghosts as I have Team Liquid. This is from their first game against Fnatic here, where they lost both pistol rounds on Lotus, but managed to win both second rounds with just ghosts and sheriffs. And you see there, Yampi starts it off. But yeah, this is true. They are truly always a threat in this round. And even though, you think after Alfia gets that kill, they're really out of the round. There's no chance. Let's just watch and see how this round plays out.
Not quite as strong as the operator, and well, maybe gets a little bit greedy himself. He's now fallen.
Still, you'll take it. As long as they don't lose to anybody else in this round, they can still be relatively happy.
I think they've already lost time. They've already lost a Bulldog.
They have, but they could recover that. It should be brought to them later on. Never mind. Nice shot. Leo down, and so is Chronicle. Not again. It's all left on in the IGL Boaster. But then you've got to deal with Safe later, and the time ticking away as well. The win conditions stacking up for Boaster. He'll tap it at first to bait them out into the open. There they are! He'll get 2, but like we said, Safe was there to close it out in the end.
But now let's come to some normal gun rounds. We'll take a look at Ascent here for their defensive side. And I would say, in general, Team Liquid on the most proactive side, on the defensive side. I mean, I'm comparing it to like what we did yesterday with Loud, who are a very proactive team at times on the defensive side. But for Team Liquid, particularly I think when Nats is playing Cypher, they'll often want to kind of lure people into a kind of a Nats trap and get kills off the back of that. This is a good example here. Of course, Safe with an op on Jet. Yeah, of course, he's going to be somewhat proactive and trying to look for fights. But in general, I think the rest of the team, isn't always super proactive. We'll see here in this round, we're just going to get pretty much an A exec from Fnatic, and you can see we're playing a bit of a retake setup here for Team Liquid. And essentially what's going to happen here is Team Liquid are going to flood across, get the first couple of kills, and then just all flood in onto site and destroy Fnatic.
Left off the cards here, very stacked up, very invested here towards this, and a trip in the choke point this time around.
Okay. See if that's going to do what's needed. TP towards the back of the side. It has! It's gorgeous. That's Nats doing serious work here. They can't do much to stop the second layer, but Booster punished as well. Nats coming alive in this. It's only Chronicle to try and deny him, but Liquid just flooding the site, taking it away from any control Fnatic wanted. And they can't get away from Nats here.
And when it comes to their attack side, of course, when you're talking about, you know, kind of the old Gambit core of Redgar and Nats, you are going to be looking at some lurk plays potentially, you know, winning you some rounds. And this is a good example. We get one here on Haven, where you can see the Redgar early TPs across towards shore, and Fnatic clearly do not really realize that because you know, they didn't see anyone cross and they think that it's all good, but actually Redgar in this smoke here, in his own smoke, it gets himself into this position, and they're just creating pressure towards Garage as well. But you'll see later on in this round, when we get this flashback, that will catch Turka just there. Just take a look at the utility that's ultimately going to win them this round, where Redgar will eventually start to sneak up. He sends a smoke into Garage here. They start creating this pressure. They decide to come back to A because Redgar, you know, starts to feel like, oh, there isn't too much going on. Here comes this flash, and now let's take a look at the way the rest of the round plays out, because you'll see the Liquid can win rounds from doing this kind of thing.
Position, but speaking of vulnerable, that flash has connected.
And they can pinch Durka here, potentially.
Well, easier said than done when it's
Durka's
Durka.
aware, but he's been stunned up.
And he can't get out. Again, Liquid crafting these rounds to perfection and safe catching the rotation. This is just a mastermind at work for Liquid.
Got the lockdown here, but going to commit to an open plant here, and Leo actually falls.
Oh.
That reduces the chances so much. Boast has already thought better of this.
But don't get it wrong that Team Liquid only play in that really super slow, you know, Gambit style. Every round comes down to the last 20 seconds and everything's really slow and lurky and all of that kind of stuff. No, they will often, I think much more often than maybe old Gambit did, just do some straight XX as well. Here's an example for you on Ascent, and it doesn't always go perfectly. This one doesn't go perfectly, but, you know, with the players they've got, it doesn't need to go perfectly all of the time to make it work, as you will see. We get a really cool cross dart, little dart in here from Leo from across the map. You can see it lands in a second, starts pinging him out, and Althea manages to get a kill from it. That's really cool. But you'll see that they're able to punish their mistakes. Yampi kind of goes crazy in this round, and you'll see Team Liquid end up winning it.
Now you can see that pressure sign amount back in from Fnatic.
Spike not down yet either, so Liquid need to try and stabilize here. Get some
Paranoia.
kill. Leo on a wild swing out of heaven.
We'll come back to this round because Chronicle, Boaster, and Alpha still have a chance to do something with this. With Soulcast so low, it does get down to a 3v3 very quickly. Waiting is Yampi. Gonna find Boaster. Sets up safe. And now it's just Alpha. So much work in front of him. Both players now by Jen. Doesn't see it. Gets to slip down. Oh my god, he still got safe. Does he find Yampi? No! The Finn stays unfound, and 12 is claimed by Liquid.
Liquid putting on an absolute clinic here on Ascent.
So now let's take a look at some of the team stats here for Team Liquid. You can see it's kind of interesting. Their win rates are exactly the same on the both attack and defensive side just there. Their map score not quite as good as the other two teams we've looked at just yet in terms of Paper Rex and Loud, but still pretty good. And their pistol win rate is very good, as you can see, they're 57%. Their best maps I've put as Split and Fracture, two maps that I think they do pretty well on. Ascent is another one that I think they're pretty good on. Their worst maps I would say are Haven, although they did beat Fnatic pretty convincingly, and Pearl they haven't played. Now they haven't always banned Pearl, they just haven't played it, and Lotus is another one that they struggle on, so I've put Pearl with a question mark because they haven't played it. And here is their map pool then, and yeah, you can see they've played a ton of Lotus and somehow managed to avoid Pearl despite not always banning it. They have banned it quite a few times, but actually pivoted to banning Haven a bit, but after beating Fnatic, maybe they will go away from that. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, it's, you know, a lot of splits, a ton of Lotus, quite a bit of Ascent as well. In terms of how, you know, the comps play out, I would say that they play pretty meta comps, but maybe with, like, you know, their own little twist on things. For instance, you know, we play a Cypher on Ascent instead of Killjoy, but the rest is normal, right? On Unbind, we play a fairly normal comp, but with an Omen instead. You know, on Fracture, we play pretty normal stuff. On Haven, we play a Sky instead of a Sova. Normally, it's just like one agent maybe isn't quite fully meta, but it's still within the, you know, normal realms of what most other teams are doing. And in terms of their agent picks, there's some crazy ones in here. Omen, they pick 92% of the time. They have started playing Brim on Fracture, but other than that, they pretty much exclusively play Omen, which is kind of crazy. Cypher, of course, as well for Nats, no real big surprise just there, but also a lot of Fade. You know, we've seen a lot of teams go almost completely away from Fade, but Team Liquid still definitely a Fade believer, and, you know, do still play a lot of that agent, and that obviously combos well with the Raze, which you see has a pretty high pick rate as well. So yeah, Team Liquid definitely seem to have some favorite agents that they like to play. Now, when we're answering the question, how can Team Liquid win Masters Tokyo? Despite winning EMEA, I don't think that, you know, they're going to be favored over teams like Loud or Fnatic even, obviously a team that they beat. Maybe even NRG, Paper Rex you might have as more favored to actually win the tournament than Team Liquid as well. And so what they're going to need is some good performances by their players. We're going to see it in this round where Soulcast, you know, hits some really nice shots, wins some really big fights. We're going to see them at the end of the round play a 2v1, you know, really smart, making sure there's no way that they could ever lose that 2v1. You know, they're going to need to do things like that. We see them picking up the ult for Yampy there, you know, to get the breach ult. They've given Soulcast the spike so he can plant so that he can get a fade ult, right? Like, you know, these kind of like little things as well, you know, they're going to need to be on their game in terms of that, but they're also going to need to be on their game in terms of, you know, just actually hitting heads as well, as we'll see later on in this round. So for Team Liquid, it's going to be, you know, a bit of an uphill climb, but I think that this game against Fnatic has given everyone kind of a bit of hope that, yeah, if Team Liquid can continue to improve as Tokyo goes on, which we've seen gradual improvement throughout the season, if that can continue, then maybe they could be legitimate contenders.
Planted.
Spikes in. Lockdown. It's there. And now, welcome to the mayhem. The pandemonium begins now. Soulcast finding Durka. Oh, and the follow-up! Huge impact from Soulcast. Has to respect the lockdown though. Chronicle falls. Nats with a reply. It's a 3v2. Chronicle and Alpha with everything to do. Can they take this to OT? Is there anything left in the tank here? Yampy invests the ult, draws them away from the defuse. Nats still standing. It's all on Alpha. A 1v2 to save Fnatic here. Or it's Liquid doing the unthinkable. He doesn't even know the time he's got left, and it is being ripped away from him. So much utility, so little time. He can't do it. Team Liquid doubted from lock-in, questioned every step of the way, but they have risen to the occasion here, Mike. They are your winners today. They are the winners of the VCT EMEA League, and they've done it against Fnatic.